Good morning, design lovers. I'm Felix from Holygon, and let's take a very first look at Holygon Placify beta. So, what is Placify? Placify introduces a new, powerful way of effortlessly placing and transforming a fundamental 3D design unit components. Placify lets you accurately control components' properties, position, size, rotation, material access, and more, and not just one by one. In Placify, just about everything works in batch. Holygon Placify is available as a free or paid extension for the world's most user-friendly 3D modeling application, Sketchup, for both Windows and Mac. And just like its sibling extension, Landshape, Placify is no one-trick plugin. The beta alone sports over 70 commands, so in today's first look, we'll just scratch the surface. And the idea behind Placify started a few years ago. It has enabled us to create models like this, but it started when Holygon was commissioned with doing this model, the Landskrona model in Sweden. And I was responsible for vegetation, and I love trees. But it took quite some time to place those trees, all 3,956 of them. And I was thinking, there's got to be a better way. So Holygon rolled up our sleeves and we created it. And now Placify is available for anyone. The most important aspect of Placify is its ability to make a series of common SketchUp design workflows effortless. So let's try that in practice. You can, of course, place single containers like so, or you can select multiple containers and place them in batch like so, or you can use more powerful commands such as spawn. So we use these as sources, and then we can activate spawn, and we can spawn on top of points, on to edges, paths, or close paths, like so. Or we can spawn onto faces of different forms, like so. Or we can do a big path. Let's do that. Oh, that was pretty quick. And once we've spawned, we can manipulate these entities in various ways. For instance, we can adjust their scale in place. So if we run the size command, we can grow these or we can shrink them, like so. And if we try, let's see if we can try and placify. So we'll placify via spawn and see if this works. Yes, it works. So one more thing is that in Placify, you can not just spawn individual entities or use control groups to spawn, you can also spawn freely via brushes. So if I select a few items here as a source, and I go to, there are various brushes. For instance, there's the pick brush, so you can select by brushing like so. You can also deselect like so. And this is good for when you want to batch edit lots of things. But let's try that spawn brush. So I select these as my source, run spawn brush, and now let's see if we can draw something. And I just draw here straight on the ground, like so. Let's see if something happens here. And yes, it spawns, like so. Or I can spawn like a little dot, or a little dot, or perhaps a ring. All that kind of stuff I can do. And one final thing before we go. Placify has a sibling extension called Landscape, and Landscape shines a terrain. But these extensions really, they are part of the same family, and they work very well together, even though they can be used completely independently. So for instance, let's go to Landscape and let's plot something. Let's plot a terrain and let's quake it. So start here and go over here. And if I hold Alt, I can do a quake terrain. Well, that was a little bit too dramatic, I think. Let's try another one by clicking enter. Now, this is Landscape, mind you. But I just want to show you that they play very well with each other. Like so. And maybe this one. Let's see if this works better. It's a very, maybe I like this. It's a kind of dramatic thing. So I can add a skirt, like so. And now what happened to the trees? Well, if we look in X-ray, we see that the trees are there below. But if we want to bring up the trees, there's this nifty plant command, which auto drops all trees, all containers on a certain tag to the terrain. So let's try that without selecting anything. Hey, that was quick. So here you can see how Placify and Landscape work very well together. And note also how it's very easy to create these interesting sort of spaces in a few minutes or less. You can create interesting spaces, whether urban spaces or natural spaces or places to explore. So part of Placify is to embrace playfulness and to start playing around, to express yourself effortlessly. So that's part of of what we want Placify to help you achieve. And to learn more about this and other extensions from Holygon, visit holygon.com, where you can download a free trial or purchase and license in the shop. Thank you very much. Now go transform your design.